this is Jocelyn from the Vagina Doc Physical Therapy and Wellness, and in this video I'm going to show you how I work on walking with people. So first thing, the reason why I want to talk about this is because one question is that I often get is, do I Kegel or grip my abdominals when I walk? And most often I say no, unless I am particularly training a person to, because they are so weak and their muscles are so, I guess, strained from birth. But typically no. Now where I start is, walking it looks like this. It's a weight shift and an exchange of body weight from one leg to another. But oftentimes where people fail is upon loading. They fail here in their pelvis and low back. Sometimes they fail in their knee when it snaps back, or they fail when their knee twists into femoral internal rotation. If your pelvic floor is weak and you're in femoral internal rotation, your muscles are on more of a stretch, and now you have a higher demand that your muscles have to do. So let's fix the femoral internal rotation. Okay, so where I start is this weight shift. So basically I have people just shift their weight forward and back, and I say, I want you to feel this the moment, so I want you to feel it from heel all the way to your foot flat, and then just go back and forth. Oftentimes I see funky stuff and people try to get off the weight, and so their shoulders will shoot back. But this is step one, just shift forward and back, forward and back. I say layer one cues, lift your back heel, let's bring your shoulders over your hips a little bit, don't lift your front heel. So level two cues then is, I want you to feel this and feel the exchange of the weight shift from your heel all the way to the front of your foot. So for me, I feel this as I'm intentionally bringing my heel down. I feel my waist or my glutes start to take the weight. And then as I push off through my back foot, I feel it in my calf and then my back glute. So we start to get into the neurology or neurologic process of walking. So from a front view, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for failed load transfer. Failed load transfer meaning there's an error and then error in the movement, and then I look at where is the failed load transfer happening. Is it from the foot, the knee, the hip, the pelvis? So if I go here and my foot caves in, failed load transfer primarily at the foot, or depending on what part of the foot, then the knee caves in, hip goes into adduction, failed load transfer. But let's say my foot looks good, but that my hip rotates inward. That's where the failed load transfer. Let's say if I do this, and the moment I start to take weight, my knee snaps back. There it is. Most things that I see is this in postpartum, where I see this, and that's because of the abdominals and the core system is not quite online or coordinated yet. That's step one, so we work on that. Step two is now we add, it's kind of like a dance, forward and back. Step three, step two from the side, check it out. So notice, I'm not straightening my knee, keeping it soft, I'm allowing myself to feel the movement. If my back hip is weak, this is going to be hard. And then if I have a chronic hyperextender, I can modify this, can put them on a knee or on a step, and I have them feel something other than just a joint strategy. Step four then is step and just stop, or step three I should say. Step, stop. Step, stop. And at no point I'm not usually cueing the pelvic floor ever. Instead, I say, I find out where the failed load transfer is, and I try to use neurology, or meaning things that you don't have to think about, but maybe it's a breath cue, or maybe it's a roll through your foot. It's usually not pull your belly button in or Kegel, but sometimes it is. If I'm going to do anything, it's usually glutes. Like really feel your glutes and your calves as you push off. Sometimes on the step and stop, I will have weight shift. So instead of leaning back, I want you to shift weight, but keep your foot flat forward. Sometimes I am saying glutes, but we go through a whole different process of learning how to squeeze your glutes and not tilt your pelvis, and then tilt your pelvis with your abs, tilt your pelvis with your back, and not this and that. So it's a lot of there's a lot of different ways that we can improve gait or improve your ability to walk and be stable with you when you walk and when you run than just saying Kegel, because the pelvic floor needs to lengthen and shorten, and if we're squeezing it, we're not going to be able to do that, and then the inevitable means I pee my pants. Thanks for listening.